on the show too.
Yeah, he is. He's totally on the show.
Nice.
He's almost there. He is.
Very cool. All right, just gonna wait until I have confirmation that started broadcasting. Awesome. There we are.
Yay!
Yay!
Sweet. So, hello everybody. I'm the host, Legendary Neurotoxin. Joining me here today are Alex and Calvin from the awesome team that is Robot Loves Kitty. So, this is a really awesome crew, and they have a bunch of really awesome stories. We might get into those. We might not. One of which being the treehouse. But that's not actually some. Well, actually, weren't you folks working on Legend of Dungeon while you were in the treehouse?
That's where it started. Yeah.
Okay, so it does have some relevance to the game here.
Yeah. The Legend of Dungeon got us out of the treehouse, technically. So.
Oh, neato. Yeah, because, I don't know, I guess you didn't seem like you had just come out of a treehouse when I saw you at E3 last year.
But pretty much.
Pretty
yeah.
much.
Pretty much? Wow.
So,
Cool. Alright, so let me just check the audio levels here and make sure that you two aren't being overwhelmed by the game sound, because that could totally be happening. Music volume, 5 is good. Sound volume 10, that should be fine. I like the music. I like that the whole procedural generated aspect of it, kind of mixing and matching stuff. Cool.
It's
Well,
super cool for us too. It's super cool for Dave.
Yeah, the
because-
musician really loved the idea. He was the one who came up with it, actually.
Yeah, and he just loves hearing it different all the time, because he wrote the music, but he gets to hear a new piece of music every time.
gotcha. That's really, really cool. Here, I'm just actually going to go into my mixer here and adjust the levels a little bit. There we go. Alright. So, the procedural music thing is something that I've seen not necessarily done before, I guess to this level, but was it Red Dead Redemption, Dead Red Redemption? I get the first two words confused. But that one, from what I understand, had a system where it would switch between tracks that were all written basically in the same key. I think it was like A minor or something. And it would just be able to transition between like travel music and quiet calm music and danger music and such seamlessly. So
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to play that, but I have heard that they were doing something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of like an upgrade to the standard kind of dynamic music systems that you usually see, where it reacts to what's happening, but it's not usually that seamless. So.
Well, it's
Right.
also not like it's randomized and reactive. So it's
with Legend of
with
Dungeon?
Legend of Dungeon,
Yeah.
it's randomized. So like every time you play through, different pieces of the soundtracks are assigned to different monsters and different pieces of the level.
okay.
So as you approach, you'll notice if you the best way to check it out is like if you notice you approach the stairs down, almost all of the time, as you get closer to the stairs going down, the music will change a little bit.
You can actually
Oh, nice.
hear the staircase.
Mhm.
And
That's really cool.
And when there's many monsters, the music kind of swells up because all of the different tracks are coming together. And if there's multiples of the same monster, it actually
Increases
amplifies.
the volume,
The
yeah,
volume goes up.
for that
Very cool.
particular piece.
Awesome. Yeah, I've noticed a little bit of that, but I guess being engaged in combat and discovery and stuff, I can't be paying too much attention to the music.
Yeah, it's pretty subtle.
Yeah. I'm going to cut my camera here for just a split second because I need to adjust something and want to make sure it's not too wonky.
Mhm.
Okie dokie. Here we are. That looks right. That looks right. Okay. And I have a notepad now, too, which is very important. So I should I should mention to everybody, if you haven't played Rogue, definitely play it at some point, because this game is pretty much, it's like direct lineage from Rogue in terms of the way it's designed and the way that the player has to kind of approach the way through it. It isn't the same kind of like sitting in one place mashing the S button trying to find walls sort of thing, but at the same time, you do have to search around manually and find stuff. Two vampires in the same room on level 3 is pretty crazy. Yeah, I actually had my last run that I was doing before we did the show here. I wasn't broadcasting it, but I had a vampire. I rooted him. I had the tome with the root spell. So I cast that. He just freaked out and turned into bats. I was able to smash through most of them. He rematerialized. I found that nothing I had, particularly the laser eyes or the laser goggles or whatever, wasn't really doing anything worthwhile. So I ended up just rooting him again, and it's like, well, let's see. But this time, I only saw 3 bats instead of 100 or however many, and just finished him off real quickly. I only took about 10 damage total. I had pretty decent protection from all those
Nice.
bats, so
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually the bats slaughter me. Like
Well, they
they
don't.
hurt.
Yeah.
Well-
You take a beating for the coins that he gives you.
yeah. No, I got lucky because I was able to root him and then get around the corner, so all the bats were bouncing off the walls. So you two are tuned into the broadcast. You can see everything on the camera, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
It'll be a little delayed because of the Twitch lag, but we'll be watching.
Cool.
Like, dude,
Okie dokie. So I am going to get rolling then. Just gonna go with this blue-faced dude, because why not? Grab the apples, avoid the beer. You can just drop the beer if I don't want it, but I don't really need to end this run by dying of alcohol poisoning. Which I did end a run with.
Congratulations.
I think it was like my second or third run.
Well, liver damage. It happens, right?
I was low on health and I was wondering if it would heal me.
Oh.
That's how most people die in alcohol.
So for protection right off the bat is pretty solid. I'd usually prefer a light source if I can get it. I'll trade protection for light source because the ability to avoid outweighs the ability to resist. I should have the hops to get this. Alright, ink potion. What does it do? Was that what the heck was that? I've been playing too much Spelunky. I was trying to Mario that guy. So I have no idea. Was that was an attack +1? No, that wasn't an attack +1. What did that potion do? I can't really tell.
It's a little bit tricky to figure out what each of the potions do. We try to give little hints, but that one in particular is a little bit difficult. That was a speed boost.
A speed boost. Okay.
Oh yeah, because it's the sound is kind of the tip off of that one. 'Cause it goes boom.
Yeah.
There's usually some sort of a visual or audio hint. You try.
Okay. Yeah, I can tell there's definitely something that an experienced player would be able to rely upon, but not I guess not having played it 50 times and really being able to hone in on those things, I'm a little less keen to it, unfortunately. Bats.
I think part of the fun of it is trying to figure that stuff out.
It is.
Yeah, we kind of miss out on that a little bit
Yeah.
because we put them in.
So
But
we know it. We can spot secret doors. We have dev hacks. from the
Yeah. I know the feeling. I know the feeling. So this is so far pretty decent sized floor. I really like the damn that bat. I really like the spray paint early on, so I can mark doorways that I've been through.
Okay, our
Whoops.
phone is ringing. Calvin,
That's
your mother tried to call you.
on the loud side. Let me Sorry. There we go. Okay. I had to mute it for a second because that phone is loud.
Sorry
Alright,
about that.
let's see what this potion does. Blah, -1 defense. Some of these items I wish I could throw at enemies, like, to try to lower their defense and stuff.
Yeah, the idea of having a monster that consumes the potion when you throw it at them is... It's tricky, though, because then the monster could also just pick up a potion that's on the floor, which is part of why we didn't do it. Because then they have the pre-programmed take potion, eat it thing, and then they'll eat all the good potions, too, so...
I guess the only way I would try to resolve something like that is creating like a throw state, and if the object is still in the throw state before it's actually landed and touched the ground. But I'm not really sure how everything is designed on your end, and if that'd be like super easy or super difficult. So, just taking random guesses with the experience I've had with making stuff on my own.
We also were trying to make everything kind of feel consistent when you expect a certain thing to happen. Like, you can throw the bottles on the ground and they don't break. So why would they break if they hit a monster? And that kind of thing. It's like we're trying to make it make what you expect to have happen.
I see. That makes sense.
Once you create a set of rules in a game, you have to try to stay with them, because otherwise you're breaking your own rules and it confuses everybody.
Yeah. So one thing that I've wondered in my playthroughs, I haven't found any sort of a vendor that I can sell items to. Is that something that exists, or am I pretty much dropping anything I don't need for most of the game?
Well, our inventory system is pretty minimal, so we didn't want people hoarding items purposely. So we made it so that there's no place to sell items.
Okay.
There's no point to keep an item unless you want it
To use it
for yourself.
Okay.
That's the idea.
Good to know. And I guess that's even better for multiplayer, because that really encourages people to share stuff instead of, like you said, the item hoarding.
Mm-hmm.
How'd I turn that on? Oh well. This floor is done. So which one of your cats is that one?
Oh, this is Star. She is 17 and she's kind of addicted to me.
Aw.
She's adorable, but very annoying sometimes. Like, the reason I picked her up is because she was sitting by me and just pawing at my leg. Pretty much.
Nice.
Like, with claws, because she's actually 17 and she's kind of too old to have strong enough muscles to retract her claws all the way.
I see.
It's not so comfortable.
That goblin totally immolated himself for no good reason. Or whatever it is. What are those little green guys? Are they goblins?
Oh yeah, totally goblins.
Goblins. Just making sure they aren't like...
It could be gnomes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remote control, huh?
Oh, nice. That's a rare item.
What does it do?
You have to press it to find out. I'm not going to tell you.
Oh, I'm mashing it, but it... Oh, I see. It turns things on? No.
It's a little tricky to get used to.
Mashing it doesn't work.
No,
so
mashing
good.
it will be very, very bad.
Okay. Gotcha. So just press it once and see what happens.
That would be my recommendation.
Gotcha. Let's see. Was there a door on the other side there? I don't think there was. I don't remember. I'll just restore these blocks manually. No, there wasn't a door. Was there a secret door here? How'd I take my head off?
Calvin, you're like nodding. You won't be able to see the nod for another minute. You have to.
Well, he can see me.
Yeah, I can. I don't have latency on YouTube because it's the Skype.
It's just us.
Yeah. Hey, wait a minute. Bat, you just revealed a door.
Oh, Blazing Raven is asking about the Tome of Vines. Just say you press it, and any earthbound creatures get wrapped up in vines if they're within its area. It's like a defense sort of thing.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. In multiplayer, you would basically just be on snare duty.
Yeah,
You just be the one that's keeping everybody contained, the crowd controller.
yeah. I have to sit down because my cat is so heavy.
Those goblins make a really funny sound when they make contact.
Yeah, they do. It's kind of like this weird sort of laughing, warbly noise. I think, Calvin, is the Death by Goblin text one of your favorites? I vaguely
Oh,
recall
yeah,
that
yeah,
being like
yeah.
one of your favorite
If
things.
you die by a goblin, it's really sad.
It's really
So
sad.
we make fun of you.
That's pretty good. Because once you have enough protection, they just kind of bounce off of you.
Right, right. You shouldn't be hurt by a goblin, really. They are annoying. On purpose.
Clumsy, nimble party hat. Interesting. This would be somewhere then to try to use the remote control. Yeah. Okay, I see. That is a really powerful item.
Mhm.
Because there have been many things that I wasn't sure how the heck to get to.
Mhm.
Wait, no, this hat's still better.
The nice thing about the party hat that you picked up is that it creates some light. with the
Oh, it
party.
does? Oh,
Yeah.
I did not
Gotta
know
give
that.
each hat a chance. You never know what it does. And there's other items that don't exactly tell you, but they actually have like a secondary
Oh.
action or thing
Yeah.
that they do.
I noticed the coffee mug increases your run speed,
Oh yeah, that caffeine, man.
but it also reduces your attack range significantly. So I find I get hit by a lot of. Even having the roots on that run, I still end up finding myself too close to things when I would hit them.
Hmm.
No getting squashed. I've definitely squashed things with the doors before, and I think I had a run that got it ended with getting squashed.
Yeah, getting crushed by the dungeon.
Yep.
Not
Inky
fun.
Black Potion. Oh, that was a speed boost. Fantastic. Sweet. So far, so good. So the enemies that'll spawn are pretty much relative to the floor that you're on, correct?
To some extent, there's a random chance that just about anything can show up on any level, but it's a pretty
Okay.
small. Like we've seen runs where the first monster that people come across is like the eyeball
Hmm.
or death. You know.
I had the Traveler in one run. I wasn't sure what his deal was, but I couldn't buy anything from him. So I was like, well, what the heck? I've got a weapon that does a hell of a lot of damage. I'll attack him. And he killed me. I couldn't really take him out.
Oh, he's a time traveler. What do you expect? He's gonna have superior weaponry.
Yeah, I wasn't really sure. I thought he was like some sort of beatable. You know, there's, I guess, having played enough games where you expect things to be beatable at the point where you approach him, I just kind of thought, well, he's clearly beatable. Now, I've seen with the beehive hat that it is hilarious. Basically it creates bees every now and then. They don't seem to do anything, right?
I think they do 1 damage.
Yeah, if you're lucky.
If
To monsters, if they decide to attack.
if they get close enough and they care enough.
That's
Um,
really funny.
And every once in a while, an angry bee will come out instead to attack you. That was actually a one of our Kickstarter backer items.
Yeah, he
They-
specifically requested that the bees every once in a while would attack you.
That's really funny.
With the traveler's looking for something.
Yeah, you have to find something that he needs.
That makes sense.
He needs an item.
Okay, dark violet potion. Sleep. Not drinking any more of those. Not on this run.
Sleep does give you one heal.
One hit point. Yeah, but if you fall asleep in a room and then a monster
Yeah,
spawns,
that's really
there
bad.
there it goes. It's everything.
Yeah.
Is the bee text for the death, not the bees?
I don't
What
think.
is it?
Oh man, I gotta look that up. Hold on, I
It
don't know
might
what it
just
is.
be
It's probably
stung to
stung by a bee. Probably lame. I apologize for that being lame. Bee.
It should be something hilarious like the bees have turned on you.
It says it's stung by a bee. What should it be? I'll
Aw.
change it to the next. in the
Yeah,
next
let's
post.
change it. What should the bee death text be? You get killed by your own bees. Allergic to bees?
Allergic to bees, that would work.
What was this?
You've angered
Not
the queen.
bees. No, I kind of like the not the
Not
bees.
the bees.
Yeah.
Not the bees.
Not the bees.
I don't think I've
An
ever
exclamation point.
seen anyone actually killed by the bees.
No, neither have I. So that'll
It's a
never
very
happen.
rare one.
It's done. It's set. It's in stone.
Nice.
Done. It's official. Next update, it'll say
We
"Ah,
fixed it.
We should add some more fun ones. We should adjust those at some point.
I gotta write ones for the new pets too, because the pets can kill you
Because the pets can kill you
if you don't tame them.
if you don't punch them fast enough.
It's not punching, it's petting.
High fiving. You have to high five the pets into tameness.
Oh wow. Interesting.
Oh, hey, Beard versus Games. Thanks for coming by.
Beard versus games. That's a great name. Okay. I've
Oh, that is
definitely.
exactly what I put it to.
It is now not the
Precisely
bees.
that.
All caps.
All caps.
Awesome.
Wow, these two first levels have been really big.
Yep.
Like, this is only 2 levels so far.
I can tend to make a small level look big by getting lost in it, though. So, yeah, there's
Well, we
that.
do try to give you some visual aid a little bit. It used to be that the doorways were always black no matter what. And that, like, we would get lost even. Like, it was just, couldn't keep track of anything. So, at least now the door you came out of glows red, and the more times you go into a door, it glows bluer,
Purple.
Okay.
purpler.
I've noticed the purple doors, so that's really letting me know, hey, you're lost. You've been here.
Yeah.
Nice, level up. Come back here, goblin. Is that a fake wall? No. Are there fake walls that you actually have to jump to be able to push in?
Yes.
Okay. So it's good that I'm trying that.
At the moment, though, once you find out what the ones you have to jump to are,
It's pretty visually obvious.
it becomes
Okay.
obvious to you. The more you play, the more you're like, oh, this is probably a secret door.
Interview with a vampire. Alright, let's see. How can I handle this? First, I'm going to create some distance and figure out what this potion... Oh, that's a dark violet potion. That's no bueno. I'm going to want defense for this. Is there anything I can turn on here? Maybe I can give myself an advantage somehow. Just kind of stopped there. Oh well.
Yeah, should we tell him the tricks with the vampire, or should we just
No.
be quiet?
I can't do that.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, I'm fine. Don't worry about it.
All right, some tricks. The thing of it is,
He's dead.
okay.
Wait. 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 He's dead. There's got to be one more bat somewhere. Nope. Now he's really dead. Easy
So the,
enough.
Vampires in vampire form are completely.
Yeah.
that's the hint.
That part I noticed with my first encounter with the vampire, but then that's why you just kind of train him away until he's like, screw this, here come the bats, and then I just stand there and chop them down. Apparently, funnel them somehow. Oh, Ghost, what are you doing?
Weird versus Games just brought up the same thing you were just talking about a few minutes ago, which is making the potions throwable.
Brown melody potion.
Maybe you should run a poll to see
No,
if it's something easy for you to add in.
it's not.
It's not.
It's not easy.
Yeah, that would add like a whole other.
Yeah, we're pretty much
Layered.
feature locked at this point. We've got a specific amount of things that are going to happen with these next pet and class updates, and then we're done. Legend Dungeon is
That's a
done.
heal.
Pretty much.
It's done.
I know, but I keep coming up with all these cool other character
Yeah,
classes.
but that's
and-
for the sequel. Right now, we're actually really excited to get started in on Upsilon Circuit.
Yeah, our new game is super exciting.
Yeah, I was looking into that a little, but I didn't, I guess, read too much because I figured I'd just be able to ask you two about it. So,
That's good, actually, because a lot of the people who reported on it got something wrong. Each of them got something different wrong. It's like,
standard reporting stuff. And plus, it's like very difficult concept to try to get across.
so, what's the deal?
Okay,
yeah.
I try to remember how to get the idea across.
Well, the inspiration is usually how we start.
Right,
Basically,
This is the inspiration. We really enjoy watching people play Legend of Dungeon. It's just it's a lot of fun for us.
not just because we made the game, but just because it's a fun game to watch.
It is. It really is.
Seeing somebody go through all these struggles and things like that. That's one half of the inspiration. Is that it was fun to watch Legend of Dungeon. The other half of it is that we've been thinking a lot about permadeath, obviously, because we've been, because Legend of Dungeon is permadeath, it's roguelike. We've just been trying to figure out how to get more.
Like, not just permadeath, but like one of the things about permadeath that we're really like is that it's consequence for your action in a video game.
Yeah.
It's this
Deep and meaningful consequence.
cause and effect and all of these very interesting things that are human even. It's just usually you can't portray in a game actual loss.
Yeah.
Because, even with Legend of Dungeon, yeah, you lose your character, but you can always play again. You can always try again. There's more chances. You're always given extra chances. And so we wanted to make a game that didn't give you an extra chance.
Right. Real permadeath.
Real-
We're calling it permadeath,
Yeah.
just because that's hilarious. So the idea is that it's a online multiplayer action RPG
On
Okay.
a single server.
on a single server, and 8 players connect at a time.
Only 8 players get to play at a time.
So ever, yes. Which is not entirely true, but more or less to get the idea across
Yeah.
Yeah.
is good enough.
Fair enough.
So each of these players, they automatically stream out while they're playing. Through some cool network trickery that I'm going to be doing, they broadcast out to a watcher client, so that everybody can watch these 8 players journeying through this giant dungeon with this big story to it and huge game, huge puzzle, the whole big game. And the thing is that when one of these players die, they're done. They can't come back
That's
to
it.
life.
Their corpse is there. All their stuff is left in the dungeon.
And someone else from the Watcher list.
Gets to play.
Nice.
Yeah. And the other thing that we're doing, which I think is going to be really fun, is as you're watching, you watch one of the one of the people playing. And instead of that person playing, getting experience points and things like that, what happens is everybody watching gets the experience points.
Oh snap!
And-
That's awesome.
And they use that
That
to
is
actually
awesome.
level up the player and choose its class kind of.
Right. They push
Elements.
down a particular skill tree, that kind
Yeah.
of thing. So that action is always happening on the screen. You're always watching action, and
And the people watching are actually
leveling
in
you
charge.
up and doing the finer details of an RPG.
And we're
That's
hoping-
so awesome.
we're hoping that the story, because the story is going to kind of be told in little fragments that are going to have to be put together and figured out.
Is
So we're hoping
so-
there's like an over puzzle kind of thing that'll happen.
is the story going to be kind of procedurally mixed together, or is it going to be the same story every time?
There-
It's only going to be told once.
Okay.
There is only
There's
one
only one
instance.
story, one instance
this
of the
game.
game. So it's not. It should take. We're hoping that it will take like a year before, at least a year,
Before everything comes together and it reaches its final stage,
Right.
basically.
What happens when that year is over is going to be heavily determined by how people play the game.
I personally, because I'm definitely like the one that's the most excited about this whole permadeath sort of thing. I want it to be possible for people to make a selection of decisions that ultimately lead to when the game is over, when they actually end the game, it doesn't come back.
Right.
That is it for the game. You will never be able to play it again. Anyone, ever. So like the game itself has permadeath.
Oh wow! So it's gonna be a. Is it gonna have a different story and start over in a completely different way, or is it only gonna exist once and that's it?
Only exists
far-
once, and that's it.
So far, the idea is only exist once and that's it. But if it's really popular and we have a ton of fun with it, we might do like a
something,
second,
like a sequel or
like
something.
a yeah, like a second season, sort of. I
Right,
guess.
because it's more
Hmm.
like a television show, more like a game show than anything, actually.
Yeah, it's like this
Nice.
weird mixture because we have this like kind of live studio audience sort of thing that happens in it,
And contestants
and contestants,
And
and
we
we're actually
actually-
going to have a host.
have a game show host,
Yeah.
That's really cool.
kind of like a combination of Ronald Reagan and
Okay, that'll be very interesting.
yeah. The only thing we're saying about the story is that it begins with Manhattan disappearing in the 80s. That's all we're saying.
Interesting.
That is the slight amount of information that you will get about how the world itself is.
That's
I don't know.
really, really cool.
We're excited. It's also really terrifying.
It's our biggest endeavor yet, and
Well,
like hiring people on full time to work on it and stuff, and it's really super scary
Well,
for us. But
We an artist, and our friend who did the music for Legend of Dungeon is going to do the music again.
it's gonna,
So it's not like
Nice.
we're like turning it into a huge production, but even just
for us, that's a huge production.
being responsible for like one person's livelihood is terrifying.
Yeah.
Like we were living in a treehouse, and suddenly we're gonna try to make sure this other person has like food and a house to live in.
I have no idea what that swirly thing did. It sounded like something increased. But I have no clue.
Well, if it wasn't vomit, it wasn't bad. So at
Okay.
least you have that going.
Oh, it's
Oh,
it's jump.
is that jump? Yeah. Okay.
You should have a
We just saw it just now, so
Okay.
should be slightly more springy.
Oh, whoops. I was just slapping it there. So if it's not puke, it's good. Good to know. Good general rule.
We try to teach real life lessons as much as possible.
Pretty much. Beer gives you liver damage and makes you act stupid, right? That's
Yeah.
That's that. We've got
Those have got to be really, really big mugs of some really strong beer for one of them to have that effect. I'm a
We're
home
the
brewer. Like
I got it. I'm gonna
That's-
spoil this for everybody who's watching, and I'm sorry
Wow.
because it's hilarious.
Okay.
What you got?
So the in the pet update that we're doing, we've got all of the things in the code for people to follow you around, or creatures or people to follow you around and kind of hang out with you in the dungeon. So what we're doing is we're adding in a rare drop in the dungeon that is a beer keg.
Nice.
So if you take the beer keg and you drink it, you just die.
Yeah.
If you use the beer keg, you just death by alcohol poisoning.
You get 126 damage. 'Cause
Right,
that's
right.
approximately how many
Beers
cups of
are-
beer are in a keg. Calvin
Right.
looked it up.
Right. So you get 126 damage, and you get a ridiculous amount of experience points.
And you're drunk
And-
for the rest of your life.
Yeah, you don't get unconfused. But if you take
That's
the beer
awesome.
keg- if you take the beer keg back to the tavern and you drop it on the ground, the dwarf picks it up and hangs out with you.
Yeah, he'll be your comrade for the rest of the game.
Oh, that's awesome.
Looks like the dwarf.
That's really
in-
cool. You get a little Gimli partner.
But his axe will finally help you out,
Yeah,
which is good.
because he's kind of tough if you piss him off. I found
Yeah.
they all are. All the tavern NPCs there. So I guess the time traveler guy was probably looking for the laser cat that I found on the first floor. So maybe when I was shooting him with it, it wasn't the best idea. I just kind of realized that. It's like, I had a laser cat. Oh, now it makes sense. Ooh. Hello. 6 protection miner's hat. Don't mind if I do.
Light and the protections.
Yeah, that's hard to beat. Now I need to get myself a better weapon, something with some reach.
I was trying to convince Calvin that we should also add a glow in the dark monkey as a pet.
Yes. As a pet or a hat?
As a pet.
They would follow you around, light up the room.
Wait, maybe I'm wrong. Was it a penguin or a monkey that they first made glow in the dark?
They made the monkey.
They made a monkey glow in the dark.
All
They
sloths.
actually made a glow in the dark monkey.
I could see that.
So I wanted to make a glow in the dark monkey for the.
Genetically
pet.
modified monkey.
It'd be pretty cool.
I don't
Maybe
really-
I'll convince you to do a small update later after we do all this other stuff.
Maybe when the classes go.
Maybe or
You
if I
should,
could do an update.
Have it something that you have to rescue from a laboratory or something. You have to break the cage down and then throw a banana on the floor.
That would be pretty cool. But then we have bananas. That would be confusing. We have all these apples.
Oh, that would really be great. It would give you 6 health instead of 5 if you have a banana. Or even get slightly more obscure with it and just do plantains instead. Then people have to look up, what's a plantain?
It's like a banana.
Then they're very good fried. Oh my goodness, fried plantains. So delicious. Alright, remote control. Bring me up to that statue so that I may smash it. Remote control, you have failed me. I think this floor is done. Or is it? Can't tell if anything's up there. Looks like I've been through this door once, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I feel like I've been through some of these. I'm seeing a lot of purple here. Okay, floor's done. Moving on.
Die.
Deeper! Go deeper!
That's where the good stuff's at. Damn, 472 already. It was that vampire. Vampire with the big bucks. Oh, I'm not even gonna. I know I can make the jump, but it's probably not worth it. My helmet's pretty awesome.
Yeah, the jumps are. You have to kind of weigh out the risk versus reward.
Yeah, especially since my speed and jump have adjusted. It's a lot easier. When you start with the default character, it's a very easy jump because you know exactly how far you're going to go is right onto the platform. As fast as I'm going, as high as I'm going, it's a little bit further. Damn it, Ghost, I'm trying to jump. Sometimes I don't always spot those ghosts.
That was the intention.
Yeah.
I just realized we can't see any of your stats.
Oh.
Our faces are in front of it.
That does kind of add to the mystery, doesn't it?
I have no idea what your health is at or anything.
I could
Kinda
try to
scary.
adjust that, or I could leave it this way. I think it might be a little more interesting this way, actually.
You could die at any time.
Could die any moment. We have no idea.
Yeah, no, I've got 103 health. I'm decent for the moment. I really need a weapon with some range to it. That's going to save me a lot of health. Okay, so are these and the zombies with the cones a Plants vs. Zombies kind of tribute thing, or was it just random?
Yes.
Okay.
We,
Go ahead, Calvin.
so
Tell the
so
story.
the at the time CEO of PopCap Games backed us when we were running our Kickstarter,
Nice.
and he backed us at the monster level. And what he wanted was a unicorn for Peggle, and we were like, we've already got a unicorn, so he's like, oh, okay. I'm like, can we do Plants vs. Zombies, please? Because I know we also already have zombies, but we could dress them up and stuff, and it would be hilarious. And we'll put a bunch of stuff in instead of just doing one monster. We'll
Yeah,
put
so we
like
have-
a ton of zombie things.
We have the pea shooters, the ducky tooth zombies, and the cone zombies.
And he's like, all right, that's cool.
Yeah.
We were very excited.
It was neat. We got paid basically to put Plants vs. Zombies stuff in.
That is pretty neat.
And not only was it okay, but they wanted it.
Wanted it, yeah.
So these blue circuity looking things, my guess is that there's something I find at the bottom that unlocks these on the way back up. Am I totally mistaken? Is there something to it? Or are they
There's
just
a-
decorative?
They are decorative, and there's something to it, but it's
Not
not
bad.
a big deal. It's kind of more of a, I see what's going on here.
It's a hint at something else, kind of.
Yeah,
How do you,
it's-
yeah.
And it's actually, it's a little bit, it'll make more sense in the sequel than it does currently.
Okay. Sequel. So you've mentioned the sequel a couple times, and now I'm really interested. So this is going to be kind of a one and done sort of thing. For the sequel, are the graphics going to be the same? Is the music going to be the same? Is there going to be like all the same items and then more, or
No,
is it
Making
going to
a
be?
whole new production?
Sequel is completely new. It's going to be a standalone server that you can connect to with a big world with many dungeons. I think our tentative title is Legends of Dungeons.
No.
There was
We had
there was
Quest of something.
Quest
in
of
there.
Legends of Dungeons, Quest of the I don't remember. Wait, Adventure Quest. No, we can't do
Adventure
that.
Quest.
We can't do that. It's going to be something equally ridiculous. So,
We're gonna make it even more generic if possible.
yeah, the name will be as a generic.
If they're done being litigious about it, you could do Legend of Dungeon Saga.
Yeah.
We talked about that. We were like,
Calvin's like,
I was
no, they won't be
no,
upset. I'm
we
like,
gotta
what are
put
you
the
talking
saga in there. 'Cause Quest Saga.
Saga
That's what
Quest.
Saga
Saga Quest. That's what we wanted to do.
Saga Quest. Nice. Oh, call it Saga Genesis.
Okay.
I think this floor is done.
Yeah, we're gonna do. So there's gonna be kind of an overworld. It's kind of what we were thinking about for our
when we
stretch goals.
ran the Kickstarter, we said, all right, we need $5,000 to get the bare minimum of what we need to finish this game. But what could we do with this game if people really wanted it, you know? So we kind of had this. It started with kind of the basic game, and then we added extra layers to it, like the pet system and player classes. And we were going to expand it to having like an outer world where you could go into multiple different dungeons
Nice.
and have it be online, so that you could at least like kind of Minecraft style, I guess, in the sense that you could host a server and have friends come.
Yeah,
That sounds like fun.
persistent, but the dungeons would generate every time you went into them.
Right, right.
And that's kind of what this is going to be. It's kind of
That's the sequel,
there's
I think.
and then there's a big like an adventure kind of thing that can happen when you're playing the online version. You go from area to area and unlock things.
You can unlock new dungeons, so who knows?
That's really cool. And that's something I could see as a way to continue adding content later, is that they just haven't unlocked the new stuff, but, you know, it's there. And then when you finally have it all ready to implement in the game, they can finally do the thing that actually unlocks it. And it could be something simple, or I don't know.
Mhm.
I don't know what plans you folks have for it, but I'm really excited for it. It sounds like a lot of fun. I mean, this I would probably play a lot more if there was some sort of like, you know, online multiplayer, just because it's kind of, it suffers from the same thing that like Rogue Legacy and Binding of Isaac and other games that I really enjoy, where I want to play it with other people and share it with other people, but just doing solo runs sometimes feels like it could, you know, maybe get boring for some of the people watching, or even for me sometimes for some of the games. But
Yeah, but the problem with the current game is that it's so trollable.
yeah,
Like-
that's true.
It's it's one of the beautiful things about it when you're playing local co-op, because you can just mess with your friends. But if you're playing with people who aren't your friends, it would just be rage-inducing.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
a fun game.
The first
Okay.
person to get a nimble item will just run ahead and hog everything, and then they'll shove you in a lava pit or push you into monsters.
And then your
I
game's
see.
over. And it just kind of it's not the same. There would need to be a lot more other stuff. But yeah, in the sequel, we're going to design it from the ground up to be made for multiple dungeons, made for online
Designed to
multiplayer.
have people
Yeah.
playing separately,
Yeah.
not within punching distance. Basically.
Mhm.
Right.
There would still be some things you could do, but you would probably be able to walk through other characters, so
Well,
you
we'll
can't
see.
push them into lava and stuff like that.
Okay. Now, is it going to be dungeon content only, or is there going to be any sort of overworld interaction? Like,
Oh yeah, there's definitely some
Um,
overworld stuff.
Can you go along? Yeah, you would all individually walk around in a dungeon, and then when you come up to the surface, how would you? Actually, I don't know how we'd get people to join a dungeon all at the same time. Would it be instant, like,
No, I've got that all figured out.
or
Don't worry
people
about
just all walk through and they could get as far as they wanted?
that. Every person, when somebody's in the dungeon, it's instanced, and everybody else that goes into it goes into that same dungeon. And when they come out, this overworld's always constant. It's fine.
I
It's
see.
fine.
Yeah,
That's how
that makes
it's been planned.
I just
okay, cool.
So, and we got a cool new visual style that I want to test out.
It may
That's-
may not work, but if it does work, it'd be really cool.
Yeah, I don't want to give any spoilers or secrets to that. But,
Because it might not work.
well, not because of that, because I don't want anybody else to do it first.
Mm.
But it's hard to like come up with new ways to.
There was a
Graphics.
cone zombie. Yeah, no, I totally understand. Like, the first time I saw Sword and Sorcery, it's like, well, it's definitely got some retro to it, but it's definitely done in a style I've never seen before.
And so we're doing like this cool lighting effects on the sprites here.
Yeah, for Legend of
for Legend of
Dungeon.
Dungeon. And I've got an even cooler way to make pixel art for this sequel.
Sweet.
Maybe.
So,
So, one thing that I'm thinking with the outer world that could make it really fun and actually be a reason to have one server that you keep coming back to is there's the ability to find items and stuff down below that you can then use up at the surface to build things. You're building up a castle, you're decorating it, that sort of thing.
we had
we
talked about
that.
having
I
our own
forgot.
castle, absolutely.
Yeah.
We even have an idea for a pirate ship that you can
Oh, yeah.
get.
I have no idea. I can't remember if you were like, no, Alex, that's impossible or not. But I was saying that we could do something where the players get a castle and they actually get to design the dungeon.
Right, we talked about that. maybe it's possible.
Nice.
build a dungeon with your friends,
And
kind
then,
of.
yeah, but it would be online, and
And it'd
then
be
other
online.
people could come and play your dungeon.
Mhm.
There are all kinds of ideas.
Yeah. That sort of stuff, like, I would absolutely have a feel. I would probably be playing the game all day long, like for weeks doing that sort of stuff. That just sounds like a whole hell of a lot of fun. So this floor is most definitely complete. Moving on.
Calvin, what are we doing? We have like 700 games we want to make. We're in so much trouble.
I know.
Well, it sounds like you've got a lot of good ones that you want to make, though. So just keep doing something, and it'll be good.
Yeah, oh man. We still,
Meantime,
we need to do Neverdaunt too. That's another game.
Ooh,
That was
Secret
actually
Doorway.
our first game, and it never reached completion because it was our first game, and we decided that it was going to be a free-to-play MMO. It's really not the best idea for a first game.
Yeah. What was the story behind it? What was the goal of the game, or what you're trying to do with it?
so it was a building. I don't know. So you could place blocks down and like capture areas, and then build in those areas, and then somebody else could come by and destroy the thing and take it over and make it theirs. That kind of stuff.
It was pre-Minecraft.
Yeah.
Which actually I think was part of our problem, is that Minecraft came out and got popular before our game, and there were some design issues with our game,
I
which is a
see.
big part of why it didn't hit it off as fast as Minecraft. But like at that point, we kind of had to take a long, hard look at it and decide what we wanted to do because it wasn't supporting itself and we had no money.
I see.
Living in a treehouse.
And so we moved into a treehouse.
So, how much would you say it cost per month to live in that treehouse, and how much was like the initial cost to get into it?
Well, we sold our house. It was owned. It was we half owned it with my brother, and we sold my half to my dad for the amount of money that we'd already put into the house. So we had about like $8,000 to live off of, and we spent about $3,000 of that in gas, moving back and forth, and in the treehouse itself.
Okay.
So yeah, I think the most expensive part of the treehouse was the floor, which was like plywood.
Okay. I gotcha.
It was waterproofed with greenhouse plastic.
Nice.
So I called it tree bag, which Calvin hated. Don't call it that.
Tree bag.
It was a tree bag.
That's awesome. What the heck just put me to sleep? Never had that before.
Did you hit a nymph?
Maybe.
And those
I was just-
girls, the naked girls, put you to sleep.
Oh yeah, I guess that was it. I was just mashing through a bunch of stuff, and I should probably heal up a little bit here. I'm only at 50 health.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. yeah.
They don't aggro you. They're passive. The nymphs. So.
So you gotta try not to hit them, especially if there's a bunch of monsters around.
Okay.
Oh, Poro Sorceress is asking about ports for Legend of Dungeon. We don't know when or if we'll do ports because it's a lot of extra work and we don't know anything about marketing games on platforms at all.
Yeah, so it has to be worth the effort.
And it
for
costs
us.
money. Not just worth the effort, but it
What is
costs actual real money
Yeah.
for a lot of them. And so the lack of experience and the time that it would take and the cost that it would be is a little bit prohibitive. It's a little scary.
So it's a possibility on some platforms, but we don't. We're gonna look into that after these next two updates are out.
Once the game is like in its final state of being,
It'll
is
be
when
worth
we'd
converting.
be thinking about doing it. Like we'll probably have an Android version. We promised that to our Kickstarter, so that'll
Nice.
happen at some point.
Yeah, but
It
it's
might
gonna
not be as pretty.
It's not gonna have the lighting or anything like that.
Pretty graphically intense.
Yeah, I would see this needing like an NVIDIA Shield to really be able to play properly as a mobile
It does.
kind of
Let's
thing.
work on the NVIDIA Shield.
It works as is on the NVIDIA
Well, not
Shield,
as
pretty
is.
much,
It needs
Pretty
a
much.
little help to make it work. But yeah,
which is exciting.
there's The particles are a little over the top, but the lighting works, which is nice.
Yeah, this probably would be fun to play on the Wii U gamepad. Like, because it's fun to play on the Shield even.
Yeah.
It's just a fun to play game.
It really is.
Play it everywhere.
Well,
there's few enough buttons. I know they're never gonna do it, but if that one airline that has the video games on board, I'm not gonna say the name to endorse them, wanted to upgrade their stuff and put a really cool game for people to play on the flights, this would totally be it. But I doubt that they would do that. They're just like the cheesiest, like half finished, brokenish kind of games. But whatever. It was a nice attempt on their part, I guess. Okay, so I've apparently descended into the 60s or something. The color scheme here, it looks the scheme and the pattern. It looks antiquated.
I don't know. We're still working on those a little bit.
no, we're not.
I think in my head I am. I'm not super happy with that tile set. But we wanted to create this feeling of progression
Yeah.
to go down. Because prior to this last update, I don't know how long you've actually been playing the game, but like prior to like a couple of weeks ago, all of the dungeon floors looked the same.
Okay.
So they were all the kind of level 2, I think it is, like the green splotches of moss. And then we just recently added this stuff in.
Cool.
Because the sense of progression just wasn't there for me. I felt like...
I getcha. Well, it's I do like the different aesthetic stuff. Oh, Evil Eye. Can I kill it?
Oh, no,
No.
probably not. That's, generally,
Run.
that is one of the things that you never ever try to kill.
You want to run from those.
Yeah. Always. We do.
Yeah.
We run.
They're that powerful, huh?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh no, not those. Oh, that's a tormentor.
They're still
He's
pretty
all right.
scary.
Tormentor's okay. You can take out the tormentor. But
So,
I wouldn't run into him much.
Yeah. I need to,
There's-
like I said, get a longer range weapon of some sort before I can really.
If you see an eyeball floating on a black cloud of like misty stuff,
Get the hell out of there. Okay.
like yeah,
You run away from
That
those
is-
as fast.
that
as
is
the
death.
second you see him, get out of there. Real bad.
Horo Sorceress wants to know how we started making games.
One
Well,
day I was like, "Hey, can I make games?" And I was just like, "Okay," and then I did.
that's a good story, bro. Good story.
So,
It is kind of actually.
see, told the story.
You quit your job.
Yeah, I was doing IT work, computer repair, setting up
And-
Wi-Fi across like cities and stuff.
And
like that.
we agreed that it was going to be like he'd take a year off to try and make this Never Dawn game that was going to be an online MMO in a year in Visual Basic,
'Cause that's all I do.
because that was so we were off to a good start there. And then 5 years later was when we gave up on Never Dawn and started working on our
More than
next
5
game.
years after that. 5 years was about when we went to the IGF, wasn't it?
IGF, yeah. That same year is the year that we moved to the forest and we started working on Tiny Plumbers,
Mhm.
I think.
Mhm.
So basically, for 5 years, I supported us while Calvin was working on video games. And he actually, like, the extent of knowledge that he had on programming and stuff was very limited and small. So basically,
I had a
he went to school for himself.
I had a 4-year college
For
education.
your college education.
with self-taught.
Gotcha.
We learned lots of things about what not to do out of that first game, which is fine. Like
Yeah.
anybody
It's-
who's looking to start making games, I highly recommend not going with an MMO first.
No.
Well, unless you want an education, in which case,
I think you could get just as good of an education from focusing on various elements of that in much smaller games.
whatever.
Whatever. I am happy with where we ended up, Calvin. It's okay.
I recommend that everybody not do video games. Don't pick a good name.
It's hard
It's
work.
too hard,
It's hard.
and you won't be able to do it.
You have to get a job.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, indie is really tough. Like, if you were
Mm.
both working at a studio making stuff, you might not have the same freedom. But at the same time, there's also with the compromises, there's infrastructure with it. They've got, potentially more internet support or potentially more artists and musicians or other people to add to the project. So I mean, it's got its pluses and its minuses, but the way that your stuff has been turning out so far, from what I've seen and what it sounds like is going to be, I'm really excited that things have been going good with the indie track here.
we usually tell people that not to do indie dev, because if you hear me or Alex say that and then you go and do it anyway, you probably are in the right job.
You have to be
You gotta-
really stubborn, I
Yeah.
think, if you want to try to make a living as an indie dev,
Yeah.
just from scratch, especially. You have to really love what you do, and I think that's important in any job, though.
Got him. Though my health is now really low. And I have no healing items. All I've got right now is a remote, a lantern, and a sword. Not really the best equipped at the moment.
For level 8, that's not such a good spot to be.
No. Let's see, there are some stairs out here somewhere. I think I just went in a circle. Yeah, I did. Oh well. Is this the door I'm looking for then? I think so. A leprechaun made a funny sound.
Oh yeah, the leprechauns, if they hit you, they steal your gold.
Yeah, I noticed.
They kill them to get it back. That was actually something that was inspired by the original Rogue. 'Cause-
Yeah, leprechauns were annoying, and then there were the was it nymphs that stole your scrolls?
Yeah, was it? I think it was nymphs. Yeah, and then the wraiths. What did the wraiths do? Did they steal experience points? They did something.
At our rate.
In our wraiths, we made them steal. experience.
They'll level you down actually if you
They'll level
survive
you
ahead.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Oh, and the mummies have
They sap defense.
your defense. Like there were all kinds of different things that I wanted to do because the way Rogue did it, you know, like they had those, what were they called, the aqua something or other?
Aquators.
Yeah, they would
Yeah.
ruin your armor. I hated that.
Yeah, you had to use the leather armor. If you had a lot of enhancement scrolls, you could build up a leather armor and they couldn't damage it.
Yeah, but otherwise it was like you see one and you like get naked. It was like the best defense you could do. It's like take off all your armor quick. Otherwise it's permanently ruined.
Hot pink is no good. This is gonna be a tough battle here still.
How far down have you managed to get in the dungeon so far?
Not too much further than this. There we go. Got him. Yeah, I don't know what had happened at some point. I think I had more runs, but I only have a few on record with my current Steam account and computer, so I don't know if something got messed up with cloud saving or something, but
I don't think it's on our side, so
Might have been an
must
update.
have been.
Too.
Oh,
Update as well.
would the update maybe do it?
Yep.
That's possible.
Sparkling Gold was that, I think, +1 defense.
Bunny ears.
Ooh, and the bunny ears, yeah.
Bunny ears are good for stuff.
Those help with jumping, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Beer. I don't want beer. So this entire run, I have not seen a single weapon.
Yeah, those are the hardest ones. It's like,
The best strategy I found for those kind of runs is you gotta really target the monsters that drop scent weapons. Like the orcs there. Sometimes they'll drop an axe.
or a helmet.
Or a helmet.
Yeah.
And the armored skeletons will sometimes drop their sword.
And the mages can sometimes drop magic
Mages,
books.
you just take out
They
all
are-
the mages, definitely.
Yeah. Mages are a big deal.
Yeah. Oh, an apple. I need to eat that.
But yeah, having a run where you don't have any long range weapons, really, it's like basically you're like, okay, so I won't win this time. That's guaranteed.
That's not true.
That's how it
Depends if
feels,
you could
though.
you run into a rogue hood or you know.
Yeah, there's a bunch of other
tons
things.
of other items and ways.
There are many ways to die.
This
This is true.
So what helmet is this? I'm not going to trade that defense. I need all of my defense. But what else does this helmet do? Anything now? Stupid box ghost.
The worst things I've seen come out of those boxes are probably like the Satan in a box.
Satan in a box.
Satan in a box.
That's pretty bad.
It really sucks.
That's really bad.
It's super rare.
They're a little smaller and cuter than the big Satan, but they do the same exact thing.
Yeah, it's not good.
They just need to be smaller so they fit in the box.
Right. Yeah, Satan in a box stuff.
That's the word.
Just like, oh, but there's gold in here or apples.
That's some of the fun though, is it's not like
Yeah.
one of the things that makes a video game fun is dying and having it not be entirely your fault. And so having a Satan in a box is a kind of an okay way to die because it's like how were you supposed to know that a Satan was going to come out there?
Yeah. Questionable yellow. I don't know what that does, but it looked cool. The sparks flying off.
Oh, we'll see it in a second and we can tell you if you want.
I'm guessing.
It might be the light up, yeah.
Oh, that would make sense.
Was it like all white sparks?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's your light aura for your actual
Yeah,
character.
you can see it. You can see it.
It's very subtle, but like if you get a couple of them, you're like you don't even need a helmet or anything.
You don't need a light.
A light.
Oh, nice. Oh, wizard. This will be an interesting battle. I should probably try to draw the skeleton off first. Oh, there was a ghost there. That's what hit me. Dang, this is going to be a tough room. Is there anything to activate here? I gotta get this nymph out of the way just because I need to clear that space.
Yeah, the nymphs are scary though because if they hit you, it's just speak time.
He's just gonna keep sending those. He's not gonna come towards me, is he?
That's probably his strategy. Yeah, that would be my strategy if I was, mage.
Ambush, mummy. What are you doing? I saw the door flash a while ago, but it just it hits me anyway. Ridiculous. I've got 3 health.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, the door flashed and nothing came out of it for a long time.
Yeah, I guess he was just kind of stuck sideways on the door.
It like flashed a while ago. Huh.
Huh, the wizard looks like he immolated himself.
You can
In-
tell. Drastic.
Ah. Executioner or executor.
The executor. It's not exactly spelled properly, but that's
No,
on purpose.
that's the way it's spelled
That's
for
wh-
Sebastian.
that's what
did
he
it.
said.
That's the way. That's what it is. It's an Exeter.
Okay, so my first run there on this this set of things was the suicide by alcohol. I think.
Yeah. Zapped. Oh, you started a bar fight.
Mhm.
Yep.
Mhm.
Crushed by the dungeon once. There you go.
Yeah.
You learned how cyclopses are not fun.
Well, okay, the Cyclops was a funny thing because I actually had a wait, no, excuse me. I was getting that confused with the Deep Minotaur. So the Deep Minotaur on level 7, I got one of those tomes. The first thing that came out was some sort of ally. And then everything that came out after that was like nasty, brutal enemies.
The Book of Random is probably one of those things that can change the game around in an instant. You can get like super cool rare items or like
Every time I
bosses that
find
are
one,
death.
every time I find one, I have to use it. I
And
have
you
to
die.
Yeah.
Like my strategy for those is I find like a cleared room, and I kind of throw the skull into the back of the room and have a prepared exit
Yeah,
strategy.
you stand by the door.
Right? And I keep going down and keep like I find the usually it's the stairs down floor or not floor stairs down room. So you throw in a thing, and if it's like an eye or a deep minotaur or something, you just dive, dungeon dive.
Well,
You
you're
go down to the
setting
next
yourself
floor.
up to never be able to come back up if you do that.
Oh yeah,
now.
no, you're toast.
Yeah.
Totally toast.
So there are creatures that you're pretty much just not meant to be able to beat for the most part.
Well, the thing is, if you get a good run, you can actually pop minotaurs
Yeah, I've seen it.
and like unbelievable stuff.
That's crazy.
And it just depends on what potions you get, what items you get. If you run into a blacksmith, all kinds of things. So we have it so that it's, most people ought to run away from this. But if you're really powerful and you're really confident, you can get yourself killed anyhow.
Gotcha.
That's the goal.
So I see play impossible, play seed, and play daily. What are the differences? What's each one mean?
So play daily is a daily dungeon that everybody can get and play, and the high scores all go up together.
And it changes at midnight.
Yeah, which actually have to change to like 7 in the morning or something.
You should change
But-
it to
but
like
anyway,
2 a.m. or something. But
So it's like everybody gets the same dungeon. Everybody gets a run at it. Impossible is impossible, except that people have beaten it somehow.
Impossible mode is basically all of the monsters spawn wherever they want.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not graduated by level. You enter and you can be confronted by anything.
Right.
Well,
what happens?
I could
What
see
happens
that
when-
one. You kill something with a really nice item early on, and being able to kind of survive off of that.
It's kind of the same. Like when you get the treasure, you have to go all the way back up to the top in normal mode,
Yeah.
and at that point, all the monsters respawn.
Yeah, when you get the treasure, that triggers.
That triggers any
Everything.
monster being on any level, and this impossible is basically that twice. So you
Yeah.
any monster going down and any monster going up.
Nice. That's really
And then
cool.
the seeds are basically replayable dungeons. So you put in some text or numbers, something, and whatever text and numbers those are, it'll build a dungeon based off of those. You can always play that over again if you want to.
Well
like,
then.
You could type in neurotoxin, and you get to play and see what your
Seed is.
personal seed would be. And everybody watching, if they wanted to, they could load up Legend of Dungeon and
Play that same.
play
game.
that same seed and
Compete kind of.
compete
Let's
if
do-
you wanted to.
Let's do the
Yeah.
procedural power seed then.
We did make sure that spaces worked, right, Calvin?
Yeah, it does.
It does, okay.
Okay. And ditch beer. And let's go. Unicorn hammer, huh? Alright,
Well, I
starting.
saw that in the beard. I saw that in in the screenshots.
Oh, Steam
And Steam
screenshot.
screenshots. Did you do that? Was that you? Somebody did that. It
Somebody
was pretty
super
cool.
powered up a unicorn hammer.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Okay, so rusty orange is healing. That's nice.
Are what the potions actually are
I think
still random?
Yeah, they're still random.
Yeah, okay.
But their placements are not.
Yeah, there'll always be a potion there.
And it'll always be that potion. It just might be a different color.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay, so that's how it works.
Mhm.
So it'll always... Okay, cool.
Neat.
Oh, okay, Beard.
Now, where was that button? There we are. Doesn't look like there's anything up there, though, is there? Oh, a heavy scythe of protection. So there we are, finally a long weapon.
Wow! Okay, so that is a good seed.
That is a really powerful weapon to start with.
Holy
Procedural power. My goodness. Wow, okay. This is one that I actually finished with.
cow.
I can get rid of this S word. Fuchsia potion.
Oh, nice. Darn. Scythe is really rare. It's
Yeah, super.
like one of the more powerful.
Bleh, rainbow puke. Didn't look like it was too bad though. Maybe it slowed me down a little.
I think it's either speed down or jump down. The rainbow.
Oh,
Can't remember which.
it might be a little of both, because or maybe just because I was moving so fast and jumping so high on that last one.
Yeah, that's one of the hardest things for me is when you get really nimble and then you start over again and you feel like you're basically crawling. Like, no, the speed. I need the speed.
So, when I was playing Rogue, I kept dying to trolls. Is that something I was supposed to not do? Was I supposed to just run
That's-
from trolls?
Trolls are pretty much what always killed me too. Honestly, in classic Rogue, I think that was pretty much the end of my life. 9 times out of 10, unless I starved to death. It happened sometimes. That was really frustrating.
Okay, so it's not just me then that gets eaten by those damned... And I'm always ambushed by the trolls because I don't have anything to turn the lights on, so I don't know where they're at, where they are relative to me, and I believe they have a health regeneration, so they back off when they're wounded and
like
come back.
Impossible. Yeah, and you have to like basically just make a mad dash for the door and hope nothing blocks your path or you're dead.
Yeah. And yeah, that was the thing. Even trying to do the trick to make sure the Aquators wouldn't eat all of my armor, I would still end up with not enough defense to really weather the blows from those trolls because they hit hard. They do like 20 something damage, I think.
Yeah, no, Rogue was a cruel, cruel game. And I loved it. I mean, I played it, I don't think I was more than 8 or 9 when I started playing it, and it was just always, like, I was so bad at it, and I'm still really bad at it.
I mean,
And
my
I
first time
still-
playing it was 2 weeks ago, and I felt like I had a hard time with it too.
No, it's designed to be really, really harsh. It's like I feel like it's the most realistic kind of style of playing a game like this. Like here you are, you're this dude, and you're in this dungeon, and
You're
you're
just
trying
some
to
guy.
fight this stuff. You're just
That's
a guy. Yeah, you're not like super powered. You don't start with like magical abilities.
You get like a +1 mace and a +1 something else, and that's it.
Yeah.
Good luck.
And I love the feeding mechanic, actually. The fact that you have to eat in order to stay alive. And we couldn't really do that in Legend of Dungeon because it's a live-action game. You know, there's
Yeah,
no...
it
it's
isn't
like-
tile-based sort of thing, yeah.
And having your health, like, constantly go down, I just felt like that was just too depressing, kind of.
Your
So
health go
instead-
down?
So, like, have your hunger meter go down, and then it would start killing you. You know? So
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So instead, we just made most of what you heal with apples, and kind of made it so that you never feel like you have enough apples.
Right.
So that is our starve to death, not having enough health.
I see.
Because in classic rogue, you also regenerate health over time.
Yeah.
We kind of merged the two together, kind of.
And I don't think I've seen any health regeneration items on any of the runs I've done so far.
We don't have anything that will regenerate your health over time right now. We're not quite actually sure what to do about the character class that we're adding in, which is the doctor.
The doctor and the nurse. I'm not sure how to get them to give you help. I think it's going to be based off of the XP and converting XP into.
Yeah, they might, like, for every X amount of experience points that the nurse or the doctor picks up, they'll drop an apple. Potion, maybe.
That could be interesting.
But like, we still have to keep it kind of balanced because, as soon as you have something that you can exploit and win, it kind of kills the fun.
So are there going to be like usable class abilities, or is it just things that happen with that character that don't happen with other characters, but they're all pretty much the same?
Well, I think the way that we've talked about it, and because right now we're adding in the pets. We haven't started with classes, so there's still some flexibility. But what's going to happen is some of them will have unique starting items, or like the hunter is going to start with the wolf pet, that kind of thing.
Nice.
And the mage will probably start with some sort of a magic book, but his actual overall health will be lower. Or the knights will have they'll be like the tanks, but they won't be able to actually, like, they can't use books.
Okay.
Yep.
That kind of thing, so. And like the mage might have such a nerf on its physical attack that even if it swings a sword, it does like 1 damage.
Right, we're talking about not letting the mage level up in strength, only in int, which we haven't put in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. That makes sense. That's really cool.
It should be fun. I'm really looking forward to it. I feel like that is going to make the game so much more. It's going to really
solidify it. Yeah.
It'll be the final game at that point almost, even though technically the game is done. Like, I don't know. I can't wait. I'm so excited.
Pets are already fun, and they're not finished yet.
Yeah.
But they're already all fun.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, Calvin was testing out the chicken pet, which is, first of all, having a little rooster following you around is hilarious just by itself. But then we created this room that you can find that has a bunch of chickens in it.
Like chickens and 1 rooster.
Yeah, like a rooster and like 6 chickens. And they all follow you around, and they're all like clucking and being stupid chickens.
Yeah, really stupid chickens.
They're like stupid.
Nice.
There's like not much of a reason to have them. They actually are more of a pain in the butt because they like gold and they want to bring it to you and give it to you. But most of the time they only see it just as you're about to pick it up.
So they steal
so they
it
run
from
up,
you.
give it to you, and then throw it somewhere. Kind of like, thanks, chicken.
That's hilarious.
So
Yeah. Oh yeah, Poro Sorceress there. She's actually someone I know from other games that I do. I'm a live streamer with Landmark, and she's actually a really awesome sculptor.
Oh, cool.
So hopefully at some point she'll be able to get a copy of the game, or maybe she'll win it today here. But definitely like very, very entertaining to watch. So I hope she gets it at some point so I can watch someone else playing it, especially seeing people play this seed, because this one so far I've already identified 2 types of healing potion. Got this awesome scythe. I think I've got a bunny hat on too, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so this is a pretty solid start so far.
yeah, I would have to say your first round was pretty unlucky too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No items whatsoever the whole time. It's always a real bummer.
Those are fun too because you get a real challenge. Like you didn't get anything special. It's all you. Everything that you did, everything that you gained there was really kind of your effort. That's cool.
Yeah, and Poro Sorceress, just, I don't know, message us on Twitch or something, and we'll send you a copy. There's no reason we can't get you one.
Cool.
Happy to have people play the game and for us to watch it. We
Nice.
pay for that.
Very, very cool. All right. Bat. Haha. I have range. All these things. I'm not taking nearly as much damage whatsoever because I can hit them from so far away.
Yeah.
And
The trick with that though is that you can't hit things up close.
oh, that's not as much of a problem. I'm not as worried about that as much, especially once I finally start getting some nimble going here, which
Mm.
I hope to soon. But like goblins and things that are fast generally aren't really that powerful, so I'm not really that worried about it. It's the
Pretty
the
difficult.
slower, bigger things, or when the wizards start shooting their skulls at me, I can swat them down from further.
Yeah. Well, when you get, I don't know.
Have you
Are
run
wizards-
into a red warlock yet?
A red warlock? I think that was what killed me on one of those runs.
Evil warlocks are
Yeah.
really bad news.
They're even worse than the other ones because their magic missiles are like 2 hits and you're dead if you
And
don't
they're
have enough.
Fast as heck. They're hard to
Levels.
hit out of the sky.
Oh wow. Oh nice. This is some sort of evil room here. Those weird crawly eye things make a very meow-like sound.
It's kind of interesting. Our kittens make very not cat-like sounds when you find them. Have you found a kitten before in the game?
Yeah, like I had found the robot cat one time, and it was making very robotic meow,
Yeah.
like the I
That's
guess like
kitten.
the title screen sound a little bit.
It is pretty much exactly that,
is
isn't it?
exactly
Maybe slightly pitched altered or not even.
that.
Not even. One of the pets that we actually have is a full-sized cat, not a
It's
kitten.
more than a full-size
And it's
cat.
like a-
It's like a
flippin' leopard. It's like huge because there's so few pixels to work with. To make it any bigger, it had to be massive. It felt like.
like it's
But it
great.
makes more cat-like noises,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
hisses and stuff.
To be fair, this run I've also found so far 2 indiscernible bad potions. So,
Hmm.
yeah, the good with the bad. I'll take a couple bad potions in this scythe though. This is what the heck is that? A birthday cake? Oh, it's a hat.
Cake.
The cake is a hat.
Yeah.
Of course.
What else are you gonna do with a whole cake?
Please.
I don't
Let's not be
know.
ridiculous.
Same
here.
thing I do with apples, I guess.
Smacking a whole cake into your head doesn't
That's-
sound sane.
No.
I mean, I would use it as a weapon, like that coffee mug.
Hitting someone with a cake would be pretty awesome. Like a one-time bomb effect almost.
Or a cake and pie as throwable things. It's just a one-time cake in the face.
The clown class comes with endless pies.
That would be awesome.
I could do it, Calvin.
No.
Oh
Feature lock.
no!
The sequel.
Oh.
Oh, nothing's ever feature locked at an indie studio.
We could literally keep working on this game for like 5 years.
I know.
I swear. It's so hard to stop. Because we actually, like, we really love this game. Like, we sit here and we work on it. We're like, oh, come over here. Come check this out. Check this thing out I'm making. I mean,
It's so hard to stop.
it's just, yeah.
so hard to stop.
So I've noticed if I hold down the button, it charges up. Does that really make the attack more powerful or anything? Or
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Up to double.
It can double your attack when it's, I think the audio is what cues you into when it's fully done. It won't amp up anymore. Yeah, we don't do a very good job of explaining all of the little
it is.
things
There's
yet.
a help section.
There's a help section. Does
has
it talk about drop jumps and everything?
No, it doesn't yet. You have to figure that out on your own.
Yeah.
I'm not giving that away.
Yeah, it's like there's all these things about the game that we don't want to tell people about.
Right.
Um,
That you learn by playing and by figuring it out, and then it's like, oh, I know this secret thing. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
although the hotkeys are something that I'm really glad we added in. I don't know if you've been using them or not. I haven't been super paying attention.
No, what are the hotkeys? I'm playing on a controller here.
Yeah, but you set them to something when you set up your system, you set up your controls.
Right. So what you do is you just hold down on a hotkey, and it will lock in the current item, and then wherever you are in the inventory, if you tap the hotkey again, it will shoot you right back that item.
Oh,
You can
cool.
hotkey like your spray paint on one side and your scythe on the other. Or if you had a magic book or something, you could hotkey the magic books. You have long range and short range at the same time. You just go between them really quickly.
It's our method of making the inventory more manageable.
Nice.
And it really does make the game play a lot more smoothly.
Okay.
Oh, that's interesting. Did you see that?
Yeah, yeah.
If you didn't have the scythe, that door would be impassable.
I think it might be now. Oh no, we can get
You got
it. Said
it.
there's enough to squish it,
Hmm.
That was-
and the snake would push through the stone.
Oh, eventually. You'd have to like back up and wait for a while.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll put one of my healing potions. No, I'll put the apples on item 2. Okay. So yeah, I guess my my R1 and my R2 are hot buttons.
Two of these.
You use your R buttons for it?
Yep.
Huh. I use those for switching items. That's where I scroll.
Well,
my
yeah,
items.
I've got R1 and
Like,
R1 and L1 switch the items, but R2 and L2 I've been able to assign to
Oh no, that's not the way I do it. I have the top two trigger buttons are not the triggers, but the tap buttons.
whatever.
Those I use
Here.
as my hotkeys, and then I switch the items with.
The most important thing is to make
I
sure
remember
that-
those controllers. Those are awesome.
yeah. Yeah, those are the ones that we had at E3 and
This
at
is
PAX.
the controller. I beat the game for the first time with.
Yeah,
Nice.
that is better than anything else. And then then the controllers that we had for PAX Prime
Oh, these are awesome.
are cool too.
You got big
You
arcade
could
sticks.
show like
Nah,
Mad Catz sponsored the Mega Booth, and we requested 4 of the little. They have like these big joystick
big arcade
arcade
sticks.
style.
And we were
things.
like, they're not gonna give us that.
But we're like, let's ask for 4 because what a cool way to play the game.
Yeah, it would be awesome, but we know it won't happen. We got
And
Okay.
we got
and
them,
they were all there. We're like,
and they're like, and you can keep them.
it was awesome. Like the game played so well.
I threw out some clothes so that we could take them back on the airplane.
Wow.
Well, clothes, joystick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stick,
Right.
yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Definitely wins. I like how the bunny airs kind of counteract the scythe, and it makes you not look very scary.
It makes me think it's like a like some sort of a outfit for a fertility ritual or something. You know, the harvesting and the symbol of the new harvest or whatever. I don't know. I'm just
Sure, why not?
Yeah, you made it more scary. It was unscary, and now it's scary again.
now it's scary.
What are we harvesting?
Carrots,
Oh,
apples. Actually, apparently we're harvesting apples
With the scythe.
with the
That was
scythe. Yeah,
it's long,
It's-
so you can get them out of the tree.
yeah. It's a tree scythe.
Right.
Oh no, no, it's starting to be a problem because I've got one of those little face huggers and I can't quite. I have to
It's awesome, though.
punch them off.
Oh no, you threw your sword out.
Yeah.
Right? Oh.
Actually, I think I can lantern.
Oh, the lantern is a little better.
Slightly more powerful.
Take the joysticks and make an arcade machine.
I want to really
It's
bad.
tempting Beard versus Game.
I actually wanted to build a cabinet, like a main cabinet, but
It's been one of the things we've wanted to do for forever.
yeah, but we're gonna be moving probably
Eventually.
someday, and I just don't want to have to lug the thing around between references. But it would be really cool to have a Legend of Dungeon arcade cabinet.
Honestly, I would love to have the if I was trying to do an arcade cabinet and I was actually trying to monetize it, it would be either Super Hexagon or VVVVVV. Like either one, like 10 throws on a quarter. It's okay, you won't be there long. Maybe 3 with Super Hexagon, because I can last pretty long on that now.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy cow! I last like 3 seconds.
Yeah, I'm think 70 something on the first level, 70 or 60 something on the second level, and then I think I'm 30 or 40 on the third level. Fourth level and fifth level, I'm like somewhere in the 20s or 30s. But
If you like that game, oh no, what's the name of it? Udell.
Oh right,
He made that one that we
Hyper
played.
Gauntlet.
Hyper Gauntlet.
Hyper Gauntlet.
That you should check that out.
Hyper Gauntlet.
That is.
what's it all about?
Um,
You know those Japanese game shows where the wall comes at you and you got to go into a funny shape?
Yeah.
It's that, but you're a little cube.
you're a cube and you have to fit yourself through the wall,
And the walls are coming very
and they
fast.
start coming faster and faster, and it reminds me a lot of.
That's the only way I can think of to explain it.
Wow, Calvin.
I know, right?
Wow.
Japanese game show. You know.
Where you put yourself in funny shapes.
No, that explains it perfectly for me.
Awesome.
And it's kind of like any like a first person view, so it
Yeah.
sort of feels like a racing game too. So you like
Yeah.
go
Oh,
really
cool.
fast
Yeah,
forward.
and you can keep going faster and faster and faster. And
And it
like,
has
there's that you can earn breaks and slow it down sometimes.
mm,
Pretty cool.
yeah,
Neat.
it's a really neat little game.
I like that. That sounds really fun. So, enemies that spawn through doorways, can they carry items potentially, like weapons?
Yes.
The enemies that carry weapons and items,
Orcs,
they carry them with them regardless
skeletons.
of how they spawn.
Yeah.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, like, I could stay on the floor indefinitely, and eventually something with a weapon would potentially.
Yes.
Okay.
It's possible, yes.
Yes. Yeah. Warlocks sometimes drop books. And armored skeletons sometimes
They
drop
have
swords, and
swords.
orcs sometimes drop axes.
I really wish I could use the spray paint as a weapon on that hand. Alright, so I've got a light source. I don't think I'm ready to go down quite yet, though. I feel like there might be 1 or 2 more spots I haven't fully explored. So the show normally wraps up at 3 Pacific, but if this run hasn't ended by then, chances are I'll keep on rolling. Not really anything else I have to do for the next hour or two after, so have that convenience.
Cool.
I think we'll probably head back to work. We
We
got
do have a lot
Yeah,
to
yeah.
do. So we'll probably just stop being in the video and we can chat in the chat. If you keep
Cool.
going.
Cool.
That is assuming you don't die in the next 20 minutes.
Yeah, which is totally possible. I mean, I could always get a Satan in a box. So, okay, so with the random seed, will there always be that same Satan in a box?
yes, it should be.
Okay.
If all
I
goes
think
well,
if I
if you did it right.
did what I think I did. Because after like a year of writing a particular game, it just turns into this mush of code. And you're
Yeah.
like, I think I remember that works like that, but I don't. Really. Especially stuff you write during the beginning. It's like,
Yeah, because updates and things and
Yeah.
the way the game has gone since then, yeah, I can see that being kind of hard to account for everything. But yeah, it's I'm sure you've got notes somewhere. Like, do you think you folks take pretty thorough notes when you're updating, or not very good notes, or like what's your with your design process? Do you document
Yes.
a lot?
for
We
Legend of Dungeon,
have
it's just
bad-
been, blah.
Yeah, we've had very bad keeping track of things. Although you do make a list of some of the stuff we post like on our dev blog and places.
Oh, I'll
we
I'll
post
be
change
honest.
log.
My change log is okay.
Right.
What did I do? That's how I figure it out. It's terrible.
Yeah.
It's totally terrible.
It's
I
bad.
apologize to everyone.
Trying to do better for Upsilon.
Upsilon Circuit, everything, like actually I'm commenting the code. It's just
That's a new thing
a
for you.
novelty, really. But yeah, because we have more people coming in on this project, so we need to make sure it's like
Hopefully we'll be able to like run a Kickstarter and afford a second coder because
we need it.
we want the game to actually get finished as opposed to be in development for like 700 years.
Gotcha.
Because Upsilon Circuit, it's a kind of an ambitious project and we know it.
Right. What are you folks actually working in now? Are you still was it Visual Basic or
Oh no, we're in Unity now.
Yeah,
Unity.
Neverdaunt was the only game that did with Visual Basic.
okay? So Unity, and that's C# or JavaScript or
Yeah, well, like
Both.
I'm just doing C# now, but
okay,
I'm mostly in JavaScript.
cool.
But C# gets you all that .NET stuff. So that's pretty cool.
Okay, I gotcha. Sweet. Face huggers. Haha, now I can punch both of you at the same time. Doing pretty good on health. I've got 3 healing potions here.
Oh man, nice.
As your
Yeah, this
potion.
might be a really good seed.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And what's it do? Blah! Oh no. So the blue, that's 44 out of 70, so I'm at reduced power?
Oh, it reduced your strength?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, those rattlesnakes are one of the things that really messes with a lot of my runs in Rogue.
Yeah. The thing that sucks your strength in this game is the succubus.
Yep.
Okay, that would make sense.
Whips your strength away.
She whips your strength
Yeah,
away.
that's how it happens. It's okay.
That's how it happens?
Yeah.
Totally G-baited. It's okay, guys.
Well, we saw that on the last loading screen while we were talking for a moment, or not loading screen, but title screen. The succubus kind of sitting there, walking around, cracking the whip every now and then.
Doing the animation for the succubus, I think, was one of my favorite things. I had so much fun with that. I don't quite know why, but it was fun.
Kitty Hat of Protection, yes. Now, Kitty Hat, that has speed boost to it, right?
Sometimes.
Yeah, that might.
I think it's
Is
just
it-
another one with the random stats,
Yeah.
right? It doesn't have an innate
Not
ability.
Sure. There's a lot of items that are currently in the game that we are giving innate abilities in the next
Yeah,
update.
we're gonna increase that.
So I'm kind of getting lost and confused as to what has stuff and what doesn't, which is good because it makes the game more fun for me. I'm like, what is this?
Now I want to have like a procedural roguelike tycoon where all you're doing is making procedural roguelike games as the like game dev tycoon, but very very specific. I love procedural games. Obviously, I do a show on them. But this is one that's just it's a whole lot of fun. One of these days, I gotta do something where I can get a group of people together and have a proper session.
Yeah, this game is awesome.
Oh, a machine gun. Well, lovely.
Got the Chicago typewriter.
Yep.
Oh. Yeah, playing with multiple people is just a totally different experience.
Yeah, and a bad one.
And a bad one mostly.
Mostly bad.
Usually you do end up angry at somebody. It does happen.
Probably don't need that helmet.
Wow, this is a good
Yes,
seed.
ridiculous.
Holy cow.
He's got the Sultan's hat.
Mm-hmm.
Super nimble.
Yes, that's nimble.
All kinds of Still can end at any time. Bob is right. You could run into a room with 3 minotaurs that you
Yeah.
have to go through.
Stairs are right there. You have to do it. Yeah.
So, what class will actually be able to heal from drinking beer?
Oh
Any of those?
man.
I don't think that's
I don't know.
Cowboys might. I
The
mean,
cowboy. I was just thinking the Cowboys. I don't know. Maybe the Cowboys could do that.
I could see that.
they're tough enough. They're cowboys.
That's all they drink.
Right. I'm pretty
Right?
sure.
That could be fun. So, there's going to be a whole lot of different classes then, it sounds like.
I think we're adding in about 8, maybe 9 if I get my way.
With the clown.
No, just 8.
Actually, I have like 700 other cool classes that we could add in.
I just wanted to add in a dwarf riding a pig.
Yeah.
A lot of these, though, it sounds like it's going to be leave it for the sequel sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Possibly. That's like
The 8 are gonna happen.
the 8 are definitely happening. We have ninjas, cowboys, doctors, hunter, who's like has the pets. He's like the beast master sort of
Yeah.
person.
There's
Oh, light increase, questionable yellow.
the bard.
The bard,
You
right?
actually get to be Dave.
You get to be the musician in the in the
Oh.
cab.
That's cool.
Rocks out. It's a windmilling action. We also have what else? Oh my gosh. I was just doing these. I should
The
know.
necromancer.
The necromancer, yeah. You have sold your hair for evil powers.
Nice.
2 more. What were they?
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna find out.
This is what it is, though. Like we just we lose ourselves in it, and then we forget what we were doing, all kinds of stuff like that.
Do you feel like that actually hinders productivity at all, or is it like, yeah, we're disorganized, but we'd be, losing a lot more money if we had to hire a producer, sort of thing?
There's
No, it's
also
more of a. It's definitely more beneficial to us because then we look at the tinier picture more often, and that like leaves us pretty much stress free. And then when we look at the tiny picture, everything's like, oh, this is easy. It'll be great.
This is a
we
tiny
don't-
floor.
What else?
You walked away for a moment and missed half the floor.
Ah.
That was a really small floor.
Sometimes it's only like 3 rooms and it's over.
Yeah.
The other 2 classes that we forgot are like the classics, the wizard and
Oh,
the
the
knight,
Wizard of the Night. Yeah, of course. So,
of course.
we just didn't think of them because they're so
The
like.
cowboy and all the other ones are more exciting.
Yeah. Well, then why do the less exciting ones? Instead of a knight,
Oh,
you could
God.
do a I don't know, what, berserker? No, it's still too common.
Bumble Lord. That's what I wanted to do.
Oh right, the Bumble.
Because you know the bee hat?
Yeah.
Let's do like a knight. Of
The
the
guy,
bees.
the guy who sent us, like he was a Kickstarter backer who asked for the
Bumble
Bumblelord hat, and he sent us a whole sprite
Yeah.
for everything, weapons and
He made
skills
it. He
and
made
everything.
it have a weapon, and
He had a whole Bumblelord
hat
class
and
all set up.
he was
Nice.
ready.
We were just like, okay, so we might.
We may have to do that. So maybe that's what we should do instead of the knight.
Well, no, I think we definitely want the knight. It's gonna be cool.
Yeah, he is.
It's
He's
gonna be cool to
good
play.
tank.
It's just not as interesting to talk about. But he's gonna be a lot of fun to play, and so is the wizard. Starting off with magic missiles and leveling up magic missiles, that's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, but what if it's basically the same thing as the knight, but you also start with the bee hat?
No.
Oh.
I would think for the Bee Lord, you don't get a weapon, and what you're doing is that you're just controlling. You're attacking with bees and like controlling them and sending them around. Like you're holding attack and moving in a direction. The bees come from your hat and go towards that way.
Swarm. Oh, that'd be cool.
That'd be awesome. Maybe. They also do a pretty little attack, like hardly any, because they're bees. They're just bees.
Yeah. Or they could be like some sort of evil necromancer bees or something that after they kill something, a bunch of bees spring out of it, and then you've got your next. Like that's how you get more powerful. Is you get more
That sounds
more swarm of
terrifying.
bees. That honestly, I think of Binding of Isaac when I think of that one. That's totally the sort of thing I would see in that game.
Yeah, because it's like sort of super crazy evil and dark.
Let's see, I've got a party hat here. Yeah, there we go.
We won't be selling any characters as DLC. We're just gonna.
Good.
Well, we
cool.
could.
Cool.
Yeah, but I
But
don't
that would
know.
be, I don't know, it feels sort of evil.
It is evil. It's not.
Cool. Yeah, that's. I could see it being the sort of thing where people would be like, man, I don't even care about classes. Just give me default.
If I put the work in for them, and you bought the game, like you should have the thing. I don't know. That seems. It just seems lame to me. I'm actually. It's hard for me to put in something that you unlock. Like I'm that. Like it's a
Yeah,
stretch for me to.
He was like, can't you just have all of the character classes just right in the tavern? And I'm like, no, you don't understand.
You need to unlock
You
them.
have
I'm like,
to
okay.
fight for it.
But it's like that's
You
why
need to
I don't
earn it.
play FTL, is because I don't want to sit here and unlock ships. I don't want to do that. That's just not my thing.
I
But
gotcha.
that's okay. That's okay. It is some people's thing.
Mm.
And we make games that they like. And I'll probably have fun unlocking these.
You will. It's one of those, it's an accomplishment. When you finally unlock a character, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I got the character. And then,
I think the problem is for me, I see the code behind it. And I know that the limitation of it is completely virtual. So that bothers me.
the game
Sickly
is
green
instead of,
is crazy. Okie
it's like saying,
dokie.
why don't I have 10,000 health when I start? God, that's my butt. What are you doing?
He's going to try to claw
Oh, no.
on it's
Sorry, getting assaulted by my cat.
my cat.
It happens.
He's an assault cat.
He's an assault cat.
Attack cat.
Weaponized cat.
Well, you have those in this game though, so
Yes.
it's reasonable. I think I want to finish that room first.
It's because you're straight.
I know.
You got those little blades.
You can chew on them. Fine.
He's gonna attack.
He's adorable.
I can just one-shot those nymphs, so that's pretty easy.
I think it's interesting. I think that there's some really fun item combinations that you can get that just, even though they don't really like change anything, it's still kind of fun. Like having the party hat and the skeleton summoning book. Because the way the skeletons move is kind of like they're raving. And so then you have this constant party happening
Skeleton
around you. Or what's another really good combination? Having the zakat and the chickens is really funny.
Oh, nice. That works.
Yes, it is on Steam. Do you want a Steam link?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's actually how I'm playing it right now, is through Steam.
I can find it.
Yeah, we got greenlit back last April.
A
Actually,
mermaid? Or is that...
Awesome.
What is
Like
that
back then
thing?
only the cool kids were getting greenlit, so it was pretty
It's
exciting.
probably a Gorgon. They're scary.
Okay, well then.
What?
Chicago typewriter.
Oh, that'll never.
That wasn't so bad. Oh, holy crap, there's a bunch of them.
My audio cut out. I don't hear him. Hold on, I'm gonna unplug this.
Okay. Oh, this machine gun seems to be doing pretty good against them. Are they really that tough?
The bullets
they
do a bunch of
They
damage.
sap your speed, so if you get hit by one or two of them, you won't even be able to run away.
Yeah, they
Okay.
turn you into stone, kind of.
Good to
Slowly.
know. Good to know. Well, I'm glad I had this weapon then.
Yeah.
I also got a bunch of speed.
Yeah, there's a lot of and potions. Do they drop potions? Where did all those potions
They
come
might
from?
drop.
Yeah, I think they do, because I just saw a whole bunch of potions appear out of nowhere. Oh, and an angry statue, huh? Sweet. That was a hell of a lot of experience. And let's see what other loot I got there.
If you didn't have the Tommy gun, that would have been a run situation, definitely.
Yeah. Okay, so I got a bunch of hats. I like that speed. I don't think I'm going to go with the protection. Safety, axe, ephemeralness. This will be good for getting the face huggers off.
Yeah, close range weapon, definitely useful.
Fuchsia potion. Did I get one of these? Oh, yes, it's bad. Just check it. Aqua potion. No idea. Let's see. Bleh! Nope, sleep. Sleep. Alright. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this. Oh, one more potion. Give me that potion. Lime green is bad. Ugh. Cool. Alright, well then, continuing on. Alright, and we're getting pretty close to the 2-hour mark here, so I think once I find a staircase or something, I will save the game and do the giveaway, and then probably stream it a bit more here and at least finish out this run or see how far I can get with it.
You'll actually be safe in the stairwell. If you don't want to save it out and stuff, you can just camp there. So long as you're like down near the bottom, no monsters can get you.
Oh, cool. Oh, what the heck was that? Oh no, the platforms didn't even go all the way across. Oh well. Oh, it was a ghost. That was what hit me.
The ghosts are really just practice for the monster that happens later that you probably haven't run into yet.
Nope.
So,
Did you see a wraith? I don't know.
I don't believe I have.
oh, okay.
They are pretty bad. They are
Yeah.
bad news.
Mm.
They're
Wraiths,
like
they're the ones that eat the XP.
they're one of those monsters that experienced players freak out when they hear the noise that they make when they aggro. We're like, ah!
Gotcha.
Where is it? Where is it? One of those.
Well, you know what? This will be a safe place. I will just kind of park it right here. You're saying this just right here will be okay behind the waterfall?
Yeah,
up
up
behind the
on the
Like not going into the next room, but still up in the water.
behind the wall space.
Yeah.
Should be safe.
Okay, cool.
Things will
Alright.
spawn in the room, but
Yeah. Alright then. Well, I thank both of you for coming on here. Alex and Calvin, I really appreciate it.
Our pleasure.
we had a lot of fun.
So, anybody who didn't catch the very beginning of the show here, I am the host, Legendary Neurotoxin. These two people here are Robot Loves Kitty, pretty much the studio. This here has been Legend of Dungeon, which is an awesome game that I recommend every one of you get if you don't already have. And if you don't win after the show here, because I'm going to do a giveaway here once we cut the broadcast for a moment. But yeah, this has been a great game here, and this seed here, Procedural Power, capital P on both words, if you want to give it a run yourself. But anyway, this has been Procedural Powerhouse's episode 10. Thank you very much for coming, and I will see you folks later. Stick around for the giveaway.
Bye.
Bye.